Because if The Rock wants to wrestle Roman Reigns in what will likely end up being his retirement match, I mean, let's be honest, because I think if The Rock actually came back to wrestle, it would only be for a match against his cousin. That's what would draw him out of retirement. WWE has a show before WrestleMania. It's called Elimination Chamber. And in past years, and any other year, I might agree that a match like that does not belong on a show called Elimination Chamber. Which, hey, Rock has wrestled at Elimination Chamber before. He wrestled CM Punk at Elimination Chamber. So it's not out of the question that The Rock would wrestle on, a quote-unquote B show. He's done it before.
Hey everybody, so I came to talk about the possibility of The Rock wrestling Roman Reigns at Elimination Chamber instead of WrestleMania 40. So I've heard a couple people speculate this on comment sites or Twitter. I'm really not sure, but I think the main voice I've heard is Solomonster, so I'm going to reply specifically to his video and talk about his logic here. But basically, he states that Rock will wrestle Roman Reigns at Elimination Chamber because he did it 10 years ago with CM Punk, so he's not above wrestling at the Elimination Chamber, and because WrestleMania is already stacked. Now, I'm not here to attack Solomonster or his character or his opinions or anything like that, because he is entitled to his opinions just like everyone else here is. However, I will say that I do feel like his input leaves out a lot of information. First, let's talk about the argument that The Rock wrestled 10 years ago at the Elimination Chamber. The Rock did not only wrestle at the Elimination Chamber 10 years ago. He wrestled at the Royal Rumble, then he wrestled at the Elimination Chamber, then it culminated to a big match at WrestleMania. So the circumstances are different to what Solomonster is speculating here, because he's basically saying The Rock and Roman's big match is going to culminate at Elimination Chamber, which I don't see happening. It's just not likely. I don't think that just because it's going to be in a stadium in Australia that's going to make a difference. WrestleMania is always going to be WrestleMania, and as a company who's always trying to blow up WrestleMania as much as you can, which goes into the next premise of his argument here, you're not going to have The Rock wrestle anywhere else but WrestleMania if given the chance. Unless you have some sort of agreement that it's going to lead to WrestleMania, like what happened 10 years ago, right? So WrestleMania already being stacked doesn't make a difference. If anything, that's just going to give more incentive to blow up WrestleMania even further because, it's WrestleMania. And this year in particular, it's WrestleMania 40. That's 40 years of WrestleMania. They're going to want to throw everything and the mother at the wall at WrestleMania. This is not to say that The Rock won't appear at Elimination Chamber. Let me make that clear. I do not think that The Rock will miss Elimination Chamber, but what I do think is that any likelihood of The Rock wrestling at Elimination Chamber is so that it would lead to a match at WrestleMania. That's the only possible way. Another point I want to bring up about The Rock is this. If you guys rewind a little bit, The Rock on Pat McAfee's show stated that he initially was going to wrestle Roman at WrestleMania 39, but plans fell through because they couldn't come together to reach some sort of story. What makes you think that they're going to give WrestleMania the backseat for the Elimination Chamber? Again, I don't think the fact that it's being held at a stadium at Perth makes a big difference. I'm just being honest. Clearly, the plan has been for The Rock to wrestle Roman Reigns at WrestleMania all along. So, and this is just my opinion, but The Rock wrestling at WrestleMania is all but a foregone conclusion. The one thing that I will agree with Solomonster on is that you do absolutely have to make Elimination Chamber must-see. So throwing The Rock in there for an appearance would be amazing. In fact, I would love to see The Rock wrestle at Elimination Chamber, but I don't think it's going to happen versus Roman Reigns. So whatever you have The Rock do at Elimination Chamber, I don't think it's going to be versus Roman Reigns. I'm just being honest. Now, you can have him wrestle some sort of match against somebody at Elimination Chamber, and I don't see a problem with that. The Rock, before he wrestled John Cena, he wrestled in a tag team match. So I don't see any problem with them advertising him to wrestle a match before he wrestles Roman Reigns. I don't see a problem with that. But again, I just don't see it happening against Roman Reigns. So all respect towards Solomonster. I'm a big fan of his podcast, but I just don't think that this one is likely to happen.